that coastal erosion, yes. Mhm. You know, there are certain places that if I were to put a desalinator, yeah. hmm And I took all that salt water and turned it into fresh water, yeah. And then I took that steam and turned it into electricity. It could reduce coastal erosion. Now, just wanting to know the various locations throughout the world where there is coastal erosion, yeah. Strategically placing desalinators could reduce that. Now, this idea of the kiln, yes, uh-huh. These are bricks, yep, and it says KRB on them. Oh, Do they actually use a kiln to do this work? Yes. That would mean that they're using some sort of electricity or other fuel to heat bricks. Yeah. Now I know there's a possibility of reducing coastal erosion. Yeah. Producing electricity. To fuel a kiln. Yes. That would make bricks that much more efficient. Now, there's probably not a lot of money in that location, but what there is, yes, is the thought that they might not need to displace these refugees for a few decades longer. Whatever their issue is in Bangladesh or Myanmar, yeah, right here, yeah. Looks like they have a large ocean right there. Mm. And the excuse that you have to move them is that the soil is eroding. Yeah. Now it's a nice article. Yeah. Save, feed the world. Oh, look at here. Restoring the oceans could feed 1 billion people a day a healthy seafood meal each day. Yeah. You know, I thought we should throw all the dead in the ocean. Poop. For those of you that don't want to be encased in salt. Yeah. And I think there's a public interest in not incinerating, not burying in the actual ground. Yes. Now, for every dead body that ends up in the bottom of the ocean, is there any crabs, lobsters, or any other scavengers that might feed on that? How does it affect the ecosystem if we did make available ocean burials for those that want to go on a cruise? Yeah. See, it's one thing to say, well, we're going to save the oceans and feed the world, oceana.org. Yes. It's another thing to say, well, how are you going to add to the food supply available to ocean animals? Now, I'm sure there's an ecosystem that somebody has studied. Yes. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want rotting corpses on the bottom of the ocean? How about dogs and cats? You know, for those that do cremate your loved ones known as the family pet, poop. I did want to start a charity. Oh, Powell? Mm-hmm. Well, we just throw all the dead in the ocean with the intention that if they're in the bottom of the ocean, it adds to the food supply of the ecosystem. Oh, see, if all you did was take fish out of the ocean so that the people that live on land could eat it, yes. How do you restore the food supply that came from the ocean? It sounds dumb, yes. But I really think that we need a third or maybe fourth. Oh, and for those in the freezing business of human beings, yeah. You know, I'm a competitor. Oh. Now, do we have cemeteries? Yes. We have cremation? Yes. And we have dead people? Yes. Now, I thought I'd buy a few of these old luxury cruise lines from the 1960s. Yes. That have very bad interiors. Yep. I'd offer a nice buffet so that you could say goodbye to your loved one. I'd dump them over approximately 20 miles from the actual nearest port. Yeah. And when you said goodbye, you'd say, well, they're no longer going to be able to be looked at. Now, let's say you're dying today. You're laying there. You're close to death. Your loved one approaches you and says, well, we have a new funeral arrangement for you. And in your will and testament, you sign it, knowing that your imminent death is what's going to happen. They load you up. They put you in a special, well, it's a biodegradable sack that degrades in the ocean. Adds to the actual fibers. They dump you overboard. They have a large buffet. Well, I think it should be available. How many people have time? Let's say it's your grandfather. Yes, he's laying there. You say, Grandpa, what? We're going to take you on a short cruise 20 miles away from shore. Yes. We're going to dump you overboard and we're going to have a large buffet. We're gonna-